I think I would prefer the former one. Because this new one, according to story, I was told it was introduced, it was cancelled before independence or after independence. So in my own days in school, we recited the former one. We recited the former one. So this new one, I don't know. So we don't have option.
I prefer the old one. Wow. Because I go through it. Then I understand some things there that is just what is happening on ground in this country as of now. That's it, followed by the first one. So that's why I even prefer the first one than the second one. Arise Oko, Passion. He has this, some things have already changed there entirely. Means on that first one, I can even identify that it's okay for us in this country by now.
You know, if you look back, those days things are working with the old national anthem, but with the new one things are not working. So maybe our leaders think that we should go back to our old national anthem so that things can work fine in Nigeria. Because now I don't think nobody have solution to the problem of this country. So we should look at spiritually now, not the way we look at things. So I just believe the leaders that think about it, they were thinking about spiritual level of the national anthem.
We're talking about the new or the old national anthem. Honestly, I think they both sound great, but at the same time, I don't think it's a priority at the moment. We have so many other things that we need to pay more attention to, like prioritize at the moment, not bringing back the old. Except they are telling us that if we're bringing back the old item, that means we're bringing back the old security we had, we're bringing back the old food supply, cheap food supply, we're bringing back at least the hope for the common man that we had when that national anthem was sung. If we're bringing that, then fine. If we're not, then what's the hell? There are more things that we should focus on, not national anthem. It's beautiful, no doubt, but no, it's not priority at the moment.
I would rather go for the old national anthem. Because it's right from small, when I was small to this age, it's because it's one that we have been using. Abi? So, because the new national anthem, because no one know the new national anthem, and because I've heard the old national anthem once, but I've not, because we are not used to it, and this is not the right time to change the national anthem because the country is bad, because the situation of this country is very worst. So because I don't know, I do too much of my own opinion, because the new national anthem is useless. Because right now, because the country is useless, because everybody is just managing. So that's all.
I prefer the old one because it is more easier to learn.
Okay.
And the new one, I don't really know it. Yes.
The old one is still the best because the lines, the wordings, everything there is 100% apt. Because as it is right now, first of all, if there's a line there that says the labor of our heroes past shall not be in vain, automatically our heroes don't cry because all their labor don't go in vain first. Now, if they are bringing this old, they are bringing this their newly adopted national anthem now, they should also revert back to those days that politicians were using 504, where life was a bit easier. So they can't just tell me that they want to change it without changing the settings that were actually in place as at when this present national anthem was actually invented or established. So I don't think there's no point. It's just baseless for me if you ask me, because I don't see any reason. So many things need attention. So many things need to be addressed. I don't know whether the National Assembly, they have some things they do, or maybe you get somebody with the TED and things just to bring it up and inconvenience people. Now I recently heard that for you to pass an interview now, government interview, I don't know how true or false it is, that you must learn how to recite this old national anthem. When I never pay electricity bill. First of all, I know the way I want to make me go find work. I can't go stand and say, God of creation, Nigeria, we hate. Yes, it reached me the halos. Because only we they do what they know they do for other country. Trust me. Alright, I agree to that. Well, the old one still remain the best for me, and that stands. But if they say as it be, who am I? We'll still learn. At least as I told you, I get one small paper from my bag when I take the read down the waka. They try to get used to the new national team.
The old one, because it shows better things are coming for Nigeria. It's more rhythmic and it has more tunes than the new one.
The old one talks about unity, brotherhood. It's okay, but the one we are about to discard, that's allies. I think it has to do with a pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, which has to do with a pledge, and it says, so help me God. I don't know, probably the government is trying to avoid the fact that they don't want to talk about religion, they don't want to talk about God. Maybe that's why they are reverting to the old one. And you discovered that the old one was actually composed by a Briton. So I don't see reason in this century why a Nigerian cannot compose our national anthem, which can go a long way and motivate the younger generation coming up. So reversing to the old national anthem, I don't know what the president saw, but my major disappointment is that both the National Assembly, the House of Reps, they never told us the reason why they have to change that anthem. Only for them to pass the bill without Nigerians, without asking Nigerian question, without debating over it. It's just like a dictatorship the way I look at it. It's just feel that it's not right and it's not right, and it was discarded. I would choose Arise or Compatriots because that's the one I know and that's the one I built on. I learned from my primary school, and for now that's the only one I can recite. So that's my opinion. I prefer the old one. What are we doing with the new one? I've not even listened to it, sir, and I doubt if I will show interest. Why are they changing it? What's the reason? What's the reason? Well, let's go with the old one. The old one is even better. I've not listened to the new one. I'm yet to, but I can't even imagine it. Like, I will, but I can't just imagine why the reason behind going for the new one, changing it. What we have been doing over how many years, how many decades, and want to is it to leave a legacy when he's gone? No. You should think of something else. Not this new one. This one is out of it.
I prefer the new one. It's better we get used to new things. So it's the old one, like the new one they just introduced is old, but since the government said we should start learning the new one, it's better we follow up with the new one. Yeah, so I prefer the lyrics of the new one actually because of the lyrics, but I don't know it yet. The old one is okay because they're all familiar with it, you understand, but I think that the lyrics of this new one is actually more patriotic than the Arise or Compatriots. What lines can you refer to? I don't really recall, but I think it's basically talking about we as Nigerians, our identity as Nigerians, as Africans, our unity, irrespective of our different tribes. That's what I can recall. I know it's more unity than this one talking about our hero past and God, blah blah blah.
Nigeria, we hail our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria, we hail our own dear native land. Though tribe and